What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are back with another prediction. And today we are predicting the Detroit Lions offensive stats for the 2020 NFL season. Let's get it started.
What's up, guys? Jeremy Davis here, wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. Just want to encourage the Lions fans and any football fans in general to subscribe to my guys' channel, Dose of Dion.
Welcome everybody to another video. Glad you guys are here. And today we're making a prediction, and this is our stat prediction. A lot of you guys have asked me about this during the offseason. I wanted to wait until we got closer to the season. But now that I've made my final 53-man roster prediction, and once again, there's no training camp today, I thought, you know what? Let's just do the prediction now. Now, not every single offensive player is on here. Well, one, because I don't know if they're going to make the team. But two, I just didn't put all of them on here because I thought some of these guys' stats would be so small. I mean, there's really no point of putting them on there. Also, we really can't account for injuries, so we're just kind of going based on if everybody's healthy. Hopefully that is the case. That'd be an awesome season if everybody was healthy throughout the entire year. So hopefully my calculations are right with this. Okay, I tried to line it up so I'm not just giving you guys like random numbers and they don't actually equal anything. Like, oh yeah, they're going to have all these receptions, but Stafford has a completely different total reception number. I'm trying to keep it the same, so I try to add it all up. There's a chance I missed some math here, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty close to being accurate, okay? So let's hop into this thing, man. Let's look at the offense. If you guys do enjoy this video, we will do a defensive one, so just let me know, all right? It's all about the sport. If I see a whole bunch of likes, defensive one's going to be coming. If not, then that's cool. Just won't do this. It's fine. Also, I can include special teams in the next one as well. So let's hop right into this thing, man. Let's get right into the offensive stats. We're actually going to save Matthew Stafford for last because I'm going to tell you Matthew Stafford's stats based on the other stats we went through. So we're going to go through some of the other players first. Let's start off with the running back position where we have running back DAndre Swift. DAndre Swift, the rookie out of Georgia. Okay, the second round pick, arguably the best running back in the draft, who has a lot of high hopes. Now, we don't know how serious of an injury he's dealing with right now. He has been held out of practice recently, but there are still very high expectations. And what we've heard so far in training camp is that he has been really, really dominant, especially in the passing game. So I have DAndre Swift with some really good numbers here, okay? I think he's going to split some carries with Kerryon. I think that DAndre Swift will get more touches in total, but I think DAndre Swift is going to be a huge part of this offense. So, starting off with the carries, I have him 162 carries for 873 yards. Unfortunately, not hitting that 1,000-yard mark, but I think a lot of that has to do with Kerryon. Now, maybe Kerryon gets hurt, knock on wood it doesn't, because I really want Kerryon to be healthy. Maybe they give him the ball more and he gets to 1,000 yards. But I think they're going to utilize him a lot in the passing game, and they're also going to mix in a lot of Kerryon, possibly Jonathan Williams, Ty Johnson, Bo, Nick Baldwin, whoever makes the team. All right, they're going to mix in tons of different running backs. So I don't see him hitting 1,000 yards because he would have to be on an insane level of like yards per attempt. But in this scenario, 162 carries for 873 yards would be 5.4 yards per carry, which is kind of weird because I didn't mean to do that, but that is actually what Kerryon Johnson averaged in his rookie season. So it's possible. The Lions beefed up that offensive line with run blockers, with run maulers. We need to be able to run the football. We have not been able to run the football, so hopefully this is the case. Hopefully we can get a 1,000-yard rusher for the first time since 2013. I just don't see that, but combined, I think we'll have well over 1,000 yards rushing, so it's fine. And 5.4 yards per carry is really good. Also, in the passing game, 61 targets for 51 receptions. That's a very high catch rate, I understand. He's also a running back. He's going to do a lot of things out the backfield. You could put him in the receiver position. I just think he's going to get a lot of passes out of the backfield, not super long passes, maybe make some plays with his feet, whether it's in screens, whatever it may be. But I think we're going to see a lot of shorter routes, so I think they're going to complete a very high percentage. If you look back when Theo Riddick was here, this is higher than what Theo Riddick caught. I just have so many high hopes for DAndre Swift, and I think this is going to open up the Lions offense like crazy. So yeah, I may be reaching a little bit here. I have him getting 2 touchdowns in the passing game and 5 total, so 3 rushing touchdowns on the ground. That's pretty good. I mean, that's a really good stat line from a rookie. That's good stuff. 5.4 yards per carry. If you give me 5.4 yards per carry and 5 total touchdowns, I think I'm going to be happy. Now, Kerryon Johnson is the guy that's going to split some time with him. And for me, Kerryon Johnson has a really good year, okay? I call this the resurgence of Kerryon Johnson. I'm excited. I think Kerryon is going to shock some people this year. If he's healthy, he's going to do some great things. All right, he's got the pressure on him, but he's going to definitely go up and make some great plays, all right? Kerryon Johnson, I have getting 154 carries for 745 yards. So this is 8 less carries than DAndre Swift. Again, we're not taking injuries to account. Hopefully it's just not anything serious this year, but I actually do think as the season goes on, you know what, it's basically almost even, but maybe Swift gets a couple more carries here and there. But this is 4.8 yards per carry. That's solid. 4.8 yards per carry. Again, if you got a guy averaging 5.4 and your other running back's 4.8, that's 5.1 basically total. You're basically averaging 5 yards a carry. That would make this offense scary. But you know what? I got high hopes, man. I like what they did with the offensive line. I like our tight ends that can block, and maybe we'll even keep a fullback. In the passing game, I don't have much of a I don't have much of a role for him. I just don't see him getting that many attempts in the passing game. He didn't really get that many last season. I think he had like 15 targets or something. It really wasn't that much. And with Swift, I just don't think they're going to throw it to him a ton. Now, certain situations you have to. So I have 16 targets for 13 receptions and a total of 2 touchdowns. Not in the receiving game, just a total, like on the ground. I don't think he's going to have a huge impact in the passing game, but on the ground, I think he's going to help, right? He's going to be more of that power back for the Lions because he is a stronger guy. And I was watching some of him today, man. The dude still is pretty elusive, okay? He's still got some moves up his sleeve. Don't sleep on Kerryon if he's healthy. He's going to be a really great duo with DAndre Swift. Now let's move on to the receiver position. This is where things get exciting. We're going to start off with the man himself, Kenny Golladay. I know everybody wants to know what my prediction is. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. I want to know what my prediction is. Kenny Golladay, coming off of an incredible year, leading the league in touchdowns, 1,190 yards, with a hurt Matthew Stafford. How in the world could this guy not get any better? Well, I think he does get better. Now, I don't think he gets crazy better, like in terms of production, because I love the other weapons that are stepping up. Jamal Agnew, Quintez Cephas, they're going to take the ball away from him a little bit. TJ Hockenson, the emergence there, he's going to take the ball a little bit out of Kenny Galladay's hands. It's not that Kenny Golladay won't still be great, because he will. I have Kenny Golladay getting 73 receptions, which is, I believe, 8 more than last season, for 10 touchdowns, 1 less than last season. I know, but it's still 10. That's still incredible. And 1,254 yards. 1,200 yards, again improving on that yard mark, which is basically a 60% catch rate, 59.8. 60%, that is also an improvement. So I think he does improve. Okay, Kenny Galladay's gotten better every year, and if you go into your contract year and you put up those numbers, oh, you're getting an extension, buddy. You're getting an extension. Now Marvin Jones Jr. Now Marvin Jones has dealt with some injuries to end the last couple of years, but when he's on the field, man, sometimes it's just like, dang. I mean, it's just like, dang. And in training camp, that's all we've been hearing is like, how are you going to stop this guy? I mean, how do you stop Golladay? And then you got this guy Marvin across from doing the same thing. I have Marvin getting 98 targets, jack that up, 98 targets for 61 receptions, which goes for 814 yards more than last season, 8 touchdowns, and a 62% catch rate. That is a good stat line. Not 1,000 yards. Receivers last year, Jarvis Landry and Odell each at 1,000 yards. I don't think we have that because I think our wide receiver group is so deep. But 814 yards and 8 touchdowns, 18 touchdowns combined. I think last year they led the league with 20 touchdowns combined, right? Because Kenny Golladay had 11, Marvin Jones had 9. They led the league with 22 combined. I think this year they get 18. That's still great, okay? It's still great. There's nothing wrong with that. That's really good. And also their catch rate is going up, so that's cool. Now moving on to Danny Amendola. Okay, Mr. Sure Hands himself. Danny Amendola, I have getting 73 targets for 51 receptions. Pretty good catch rate there, 69.8. Also 554 yards and a touchdown. I think Danny Amendola still gets some receptions and he catches at a high level. The problem I have with Amendola is I actually think some of his production starts to drop a little bit next year. The reason being Quintez Cephas and Jamal Agnew and Jason Huntley and DAndre Swift and TJ Hockenson. Okay, there's a couple of reasons why, but I'm just saying, man, I think his production is going to take a little bit of a dip. When you do throw it to him, you can rely for the most part that he's going to be catching the football. So still not a bad stat line and a touchdown. All right, so you have, I don't know, what is that, 19 touchdowns between your trio of receivers? I'll take that. And then finally, Marvin Hall, Deep Ball Hall. Deep Ball Hall, man. Deep Ball Hall gets 13 targets for 8 receptions. I know. You're probably like, well, dang, I thought maybe he'd get a big role. Again, with Cephas and Agnew, I just don't know. I still think he's Deep Ball Hall. That goes for 172 yards. Maybe not as crazy as last season. That's still 21.5 yards per reception and a touchdown. I knew he was going to get 1. Over 20 yards per reception. So, obviously, our receivers still do their thing. And then we'll go over to the rest of the receivers in a second. But now I want to hop over to TJ Hockenson. Hockenson last season had to deal with some injuries. I think he lost some confidence. We're not sure if he's 100% yet, but in training camp, he has been dominating. Everybody's putting out these high predictions because of what they've seen. So I got to take their word for it. Also, I know that TJ Hockenson statistically was much better than it looks just on the stat sheet last year. And also, TJ Hockenson, compared to some of the best tight ends of all time when it comes to stats, all right? He was right up there with some of those guys. TJ Hockenson is going to be great next year. Some people think he leads the Lions in touchdowns. I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but he's going to have a huge year. 82 targets for 60 receptions, 812 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Whoa, man, this receiving core is nasty. Now, let's continue through the receiving core. Let's go to the guys that, we're not sure if they're going to make the team, but I think they'll have an impact. First off, Quintez Cephas. I think Cephas has a bigger role than initially expected. I don't know how much role he would have, especially if everybody's healthy, but I think he's surprised people. He's got to get some opportunities. I have him getting 29 targets for 19 receptions, which go for 226 yards. I know. I'm really reaching on. I'm really going out there on this one. But I think it could happen. I really do. And also 2 touchdowns. Quintez Cephas is going to shock some people because Quintez Cephas has been that good. He's a talented player. Forget the combine. He's talented. Then Jesse James. Unfortunately, I don't think his numbers get too crazy, but he does help us in the blocking game. I have him with 14 receptions on 22 targets for 122 yards. Nothing crazy. I mean, some people may say that, yeah, this ain't working out. Maybe that's the case, but I just don't see crazy numbers because I don't know where else they're going to come from. But in the blocking game, that's where he's going to give us a huge boost. And again, that'll help the running back. So even though it doesn't directly look at his numbers, when on the field, you'll watch S.C. James pick up some blocks, and it could open up guys like Kerryon. Who knows? Maybe he gets some opportunities at fullback. We never really talk about it, but he could. He's 6'7". Okay, he could get some opportunities there. Jamal Agnew, Jason Huntley are left. Jamal Agnew, who I do believe makes the team, I think he gets 7 receptions for 83 yards and a touchdown. He's going to break one. And I think maybe the other ones are just like a couple of bubble screens or something. Look, here's the thing. Jamal Agnew, I don't see getting tons of receptions. I actually see him getting more opportunities on reverses and things like that, end arounds. But Jason Huntley, the next J.D. McKissick. I don't know if he's going to put the same numbers J.D. did last year, but I got high hopes. Listen to these numbers. 29 receptions on 41 targets for 282 yards. I went there. 282 yards for Jason Huntley in year one. Okay, that's why some of these guys maybe have to dip into production because other guys are going to take over. Matthew Stafford's stat line is going to be ridiculous. Those are my offensive stat predictions for the weapons. Looking at Matthew Stafford, his final stats would be something like this. And obviously, there's a couple other pieces that could be in there. You get practice squad players mixed in. You could get guys, potentially like Isaac Nauta getting a couple of catches, Ty Johnson. So these numbers could change a little bit. But for the most part, here's what his final stats look like. Should line up with the weapons that we just talked about. So that's why I had to do the math. Matthew Stafford has 566 targets or attempts that go for 386 completions, which is not bad. It's a 68% completion percentage, which would be the best of his career. 4,734 yards, 31 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. That is my stat line for Matthew Stafford. Now, that's really good, right? Those are really good stats. That could even be higher because those are just these weapons. Think about Isaac Nauta, potentially Hunter Bryant, Ty Johnson, Bo Scarborough. Okay, there's still guys out there that can get some opportunity. So don't forget, there's still other players out there, and obviously Matthew Stafford may run a little bit, pad his own stats. So not 5,000 exactly, but 4,700, and that passer rating by a calculator would be 103.9 passer rating, which is the second best of his career, would be the best over a full season. All right, so Matthew Stafford's going to be great. Now, awards, that's not going to be in today's video. If you guys do enjoy this, let me know in the comments below, and I will bring you guys award predictions for all teams in the NFL and for the Detroit Lions. Also for rookies next year. Let me know your thoughts, comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'm